online CET class. So in today's class, we are going to discuss MCQs on oscillations and waves. So first let us take MCQs on oscillations. First one, a particle executing simple harmonic motion of amplitude 0.6 meter. So amplitude is given. The time taken by particle in covering a distance 0.3 meter from mean position if time period is 3.14 seconds is. So you need to calculate time taken for the particle to cover a distance of 0.3 meter from the mean position. So what they have given, amplitude is 0.6 meter, displacement must be y, that is 0.3 meter. So we are calculating from the mean position, so use sine function. So time period is given 3.14 seconds. So you need to find t for reaching y. So we know that y is equal to a sine omega t. So that can be written as a sine of omega can be written as 2 pi by t into t. This is y. Now y is equal to 0.3, a is equal to 0.6. Just substitute that. Sine of 2 pi by t into t. So this will turn out to be, if I send this 0.6 to this side, it will turn out to be half. Half is equal to sine of 2 pi by t into t. So 2 pi by t into t should be sine inverse half. Sine inverse half is pi by 6. So that is 30 degree. So 2 pi by t into t should be equal to pi by 6. Now pi gets cancelled. What we get is t is equal to capital T divided by 12. So capital T is given 3.14 seconds. So it is 3.14 divided by 12, that is 0.26 seconds. So this is your option D. So we shall move on to next one. The motion represented by x is equal to a cos omega t, b cos 2 omega t, c cos square omega t plus d cos square 2 omega t is not oscillatory, periodic, simple harmonic with constant amplitude. So each function is a sine function or cosine function here. So sine function represents a periodic function. So it is a periodic function but not a simple harmonic function because sine square, cos square terms are there. So it will not be a simple harmonic function. It should be a periodic function. So that's why it should be option B. It's a periodic function. So this should not be there. So it is periodic function but not simple harmonic motion. That is option B. Yes, we shall proceed to next one. A particle executing SHM covers a distance equal to half its amplitude in 1 second. Then time period of the particle is. So they have given amplitude, half the amplitude is covered in 1 second. You need to calculate the time period of oscillation. So Let us say given function is y is equal to a sine omega t. This is simple harmonic motion. So time taken is 1 second. In 1 second it covers half of the distance. Half of the distance means y is equal to a by 2, that is equal to a sine of omega. So a get cancelled. Sine omega, see this is actually omega into 1 because time taken is 1 second. So sine omega is equal to half. So omega is equal to pi by 6, that is 30 degree. So omega is what? 2 pi by t, that is equal to pi by 6. We need to find t. So pi gets cancelled. We'll get t is equal to 12 seconds. So that is option B. Not B, it should be D. B is 6 seconds, so it should be option D. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A simple harmonic motion has an amplitude A and time period t. Time required by it to travel from y is equal to a to y is equal to a by 2 is. So we are considering it to be traveling from y is equal to a to y is equal to a by 2. So since it starts from the amplitude, that is extreme position, let us take cosine function for this. So y is equal to a cos omega t. So t is equal to 0, y is equal to a. Now it has to come to a by 2. So y is equal to a by 2. If you put a by 2 is equal to a cos omega t. So a get cancelled. Cos omega t is equal to half. So omega t should be, so it should be 60 degree, that is pi by 3. So 2 pi by t into t is pi by 3. So pi gets cancelled. You will get t by t is equal to pi by 6. So 1 by 6, pi got cancelled. So it must be 1 by 6. So t should be equal to t by 6. So that is option A. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A particle has mass m, executes simple harmonic motion with amplitude a and frequency nu. The average kinetic energy during its motion from position of equilibrium to the ends is. So kinetic energy of a particle, you have to find average kinetic energy in moving from equilibrium to extreme. So kinetic energy is 0 at the extreme position and maximum at the mean position. So at mean position, kinetic energy is, let me call it as k1 half m omega square into a square, where a is amplitude. At extreme, kinetic energy is 0. So average kinetic energy should be k1 plus k2 divided by 2. So that will be equal to 1 by 4 m omega square a square. But this option is not there. Let us substitute for omega. Omega is what? 2 pi f or 2 pi. They have given frequency as nu here. So m into 2 pi nu whole square a square. So this will become 4. 1 by 4 m 4 pi square nu square a square. So 4 get cancelled. You will get pi square m a square into nu square. So that must be option B. Yes, we shall move on to next one. Starting from the origin, a body oscillates simple harmonically with a period of 2 seconds. After what time will its kinetic energy be 75% of the total energy? So, kinetic energy should be 75% of total energy. So, we know that total energy of the oscillating particle is half m omega square a square. So here kinetic energy has to be 75% of it. So 75 by 100 of E, that is equal to 3/4 of E. So let us substitute for kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is half m omega square into a square minus x square. So you can take it as or half mv square. If you take a square omega square a square cos square omega t, because if y is a sin omega t, then v should be a omega cos omega t. So that should be equal to 3/4 of half m omega square a square. So this is what you get. M omega square a square, m omega square a square, half get cancelled. Cos square omega t is equal to 3/4. Cos omega t is equal to root 3 by 2. So omega t is equal to pi by 6, that is 30 degree. So 2 pi by t they have given time period, so you need to find t. So 2 pi by t is equal to into t is equal to pi by 6. So pi gets cancelled. You're left with 2t by t is equal to 1 by 6. So t is equal to t divided by 12. So t is given, it is 2 seconds. So it is 2 by 12 seconds, that is equal to 1 by 6 seconds. This is the time at which the kinetic energy becomes 3/4 of total energy. So that is option B. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A particle executes SHM with amplitude 0.1 meter. Distance from the mean position when kinetic energy and potential energy become equal is. So kinetic energy and potential energy has to be equal. So kinetic energy should be equal to potential energy. Kinetic energy is given by half m omega square into a square minus x square or y square. that should be equal to potential energy is half m omega square y square. So half m omega square gets cancelled throughout. So a square minus y square should be equal to y square. A square is equal to 2y square. A square by 2 is equal to y square. Y is equal to plus or minus a by root 2. So now they have given a value as 0.1. So that divided by root 2. So options are not there. So we can multiply and divide by root 2, then it will be 0.1 root 2 divided by 2. So 0.1 by 2 is 0.05 into root 2 meters. So that will be option C. Yes, we shall move on to next one. The acceleration due to gravity on the surface of moon is 1.7 meter per second square. Time period of a simple pendulum on the surface of moon, if its time period on the surface of earth is being 3.5 seconds, is g on surface of earth is 9.8 meter per second square. So what you need to find is time period of simple pendulum on the surface of moon. Time on earth is 3.5 seconds. So we know that time period of simple pendulum is given by 2 pi root of L by G. Same simple pendulum you are taking to moon, so L won't change, only G matters. So time period on moon divided by time period on earth, if you take, that should be equal to G on earth divided by G on moon under root. So time period on moon should be equal to time period on earth into root of G on earth divided by G on moon. So that should be 3.5 into root of G on earth is 9.8 and this they have given 1.7. Now time period should be greater than that on the earth, that is the first thing, because gravity is less. Now the options are 8.4, 4.8, 48, 84. So now let us just guess the order of this. So 9.8 by 1.6, 1.7 is somewhat around 6. So root 6 should lie between 2 and 3. So somewhere around 2.5. So 2.5 into 3.5 cannot become 4.8 or 48 or 84. So only possibility is 8.4 seconds. So that is option A. As we shall go on to next one. T1 is the time period of simple pendulum. The point of suspension moves vertically upwards according to y is equal to kt square, where k is equal to 1 meter per second square. Then new time period is T2. Then T1 square by T2 square is what? Given g is 10 meter per second square. Now The equation of motion, the displacement of the pendulum is given by y is equal to kt square, where k is equal to 1. So since it is 1, it is just 1 into t square. So differentiate this, this will give you velocity of the pendulum, dy by dt is equal to 2t. This will give you velocity of the pendulum in the upward direction. Now differentiate it once again, you will get acceleration, that is d square y by dt square, that is equal to 2. So it is moving up with constant acceleration. So when it is moving up with constant acceleration, the effective acceleration will be equal to g plus a. So that is equal to 10 plus 2, that is equal to 12. So let me call this as g2. So t is inversely proportional to root of g. So t square is inversely proportional to g. So t1 by t2 or t1 square by t2 square should be equal to g2 divided by g1. So originally it is 12 now, originally it was 10. So it will be give you 6 by 5. So that is option B. Okay, let us move on to next one. The acceleration due to gravity on the surface of a satellite is 1.5 meter per second square. Time period of simple pendulum on it will be dash. Given simple pendulum's time period on surface of Earth is t seconds. So given t is equal to 2 pi root of L by 9.8. This is on the surface of Earth. So on the satellite, let the time period be t, that is equal to 2 pi root of L by 1.5, that is on the satellite. So t by t, if I take second equation divided by first equation, if I do, so 2 pi and L get cancelled, it will be root of 1.5 in the denominator, 9.8 in the numerator. So this will give you 6 point something. So root of that will be 2.5, around this. So look at the options. Only possibility is 2.56. So time period should be 2.56 t. That is option D. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A spring balance has a scale that reads from 0 to 50 kg. Length of the scale is 20 centimeter. A body suspended from this balance and displaced and released oscillates with a period of 0.6 seconds. The weight of the body is. So what they have given, length of the scale is 20 centimeter and the range of the scale is 0 to 50 kg. That means when the maximum weight is added, maximum will be the displacement. That means for 50 kg weight, elongation should be equal to 20 centimeter. So this should be the case. So find k from this. We know that f is equal to kx. So k is equal to f divided by x, that is equal to mg by x. So m is what? 50 kg. G is 9.8. If you look at the options, you'll come to know 192, 129 are there, so take 9.8 divided by, this is in centimeter, converted to meter, that will be 0.2. So this turns out to be 2450 Newton per meter. This is the value of K. Now, when a mass is suspended from a spring balance, time period of oscillation is given by T is equal to 2 pi root of M by K. You need to find M. Solve for M from this. T square is equal to 4 pi square M by K. So M is equal to KT square divided by 4 pi square. So that is equal to, K is what? 2450. Time period they have given 0.6 seconds. So that should be 0.6 square divided by 4 into pi square, that is 3.14 square. So if you calculate this, what do you get? You get the mass of the body to be, see, roughly this can be taken as 10. This is 245 into 0.36. So this will be 0.9. 245 into 0.9 will be around 22. So should be 22.3 kg. So weight should be W, that is equal to into 9.8, that turns out to be 219 Newton. So that is option D. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A spring having a spring constant 1200 Newton per meter is mounted on horizontal table as shown in the figure. A mass of 3 kg is attached to the free end of the spring. Mass is then pulled sideways to a distance 2 cm and released. Then frequency of oscillation is. So frequency of oscillation is given by F is equal to 1 by T. So that should be equal to 1 by 2 pi root of K by M. Doesn't matter to what distance you have pulled it. So 1 by 2 into 3.14 into root of K is what? 1200 they have given. Mass attached is 3 kg. So this will turn out to be 1 by 2 into 3.14. So this will become 400. Square root of 400 is 20. So that is 10 by 3.14. 10 by 3.14 is 3.18 hertz or per second. So roughly it is 3.2 per second. So that is option B. Yes, we shall move on to next one. If a spring of spring constant K is divided into n equal parts, then spring constant of each part is. So when a spring is cut into 2 equal parts, each part will become 2K, 2K. So this is a direct question. So if I divide a spring into 2 equal parts, so original spring constant is K, if I divide it, it will become more harder to stretch. So its spring constant increases. If you make it 2 parts, each part will have double the spring constant. This is 2K, this is 2K. Now if you make it n parts, it will become nk. See how to remember this. Suppose if I connect them back, after cutting, if I connect them back, I should get the original spring constant K. So now they are in series. So when they are in series, they will have like capacitors. So 1 by 2k plus 1 by 2k should be equal to 1 by k. So that is how you can remember it. So whenever you cut the spring, when the length of the spring is reduced, the spring constant increases. So here the answer is option C. Yes, let us move on to next one. In forced oscillation of a alpha particle, the amplitude is maximum for a frequency omega 1 of the force, while the energy is maximum for frequency omega 2 of the force. Then omega 1 is equal to omega 2, omega 1 is greater than omega 2, omega 1 is less than omega 2 when damping is small, and omega 1 is greater than omega 2 when damping is large, omega 1 is less than omega 2. So when the amplitude is maximum for frequency omega 1, for same frequency energy should also be maximum. So this happens, the amplitude becoming maximum and energy becoming maximum happens when natural frequency of oscillator matches with the applied frequency of force, and this condition we call it as resonance. So this and this should have same frequency, so it should be option A. So omega 1 should be equal to omega 2. This is a resonance condition. So these are some of the questions based on oscillations. Now we'll move on to the questions on waves. The transverse harmonic wave on a string is described by y is equal to 5 sine of 10t plus 0.09x plus pi by 3, where x and y are in centimeter and t is in seconds. The positive direction of x is from left to right. The nature of the wave is standing, stationary, traveling, none of this. See, here it is of the form a sine omega t plus kx. A sine omega t plus kx plus 5. So this represents a progressive wave which is traveling. So it should be option C. Suppose if there are two trigonometric functions like sin omega t cos kx or cos omega t sin kx, then it will be standing wave or stationary wave. Standing wave or stationary wave are both are one and the same. So it should be option C here. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A transverse wave is represented by x is equal to a sine of kx minus omega t. The velocity of the wave is given by, see, omega is angular frequency and k is angular wave number. So velocity of a wave is given by omega by k. So if you want, you can cross check this. So omega is 2 pi f and k is 2 pi by lambda. So 2 pi get cancelled, you will get f lambda, and we know very well that v is equal to f lambda. So it should be omega by k, that is option D. Yes, we shall move on to next one. Equation of a progressive wave is given by y is equal to a sine of pi into 440t minus x, where a and x are in meters, t is in second. Then velocity of wave is, see, given equation is y is equal to a sine of pi into 40t minus x. So multiply this pi into the brackets. So you'll get A sine of 40 pi into t minus pi x. Now compare this with standard equation y is equal to A sine of omega t minus kx. So from this omega is equal to 40 pi, k is equal to pi. So what do you get? V is equal to omega by k, just from previous problem, should be 40 pi by pi. So that should be equal to 40 meter per second. They have given everything in meter and second, so you'll get it in meter per second. That is option A. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A point source emits sound equally in all directions in a non-absorbing medium. 2 points P and Q are at a distance 2 meter and 3 meter respectively from the source. The ratio of intensities of the waves from P and Q at P and Q is, see, P is at a distance 3 meter from the source. Sorry, 2 meters from the source. Q is at a distance 3 meter from the source. This is what is given. See, they have given it is a point source. So since it is a point source and a three-dimensional wave, intensity of a wave is inversely proportional to square of the distance. So intensity at P divided by intensity at Q should be equal to distance of Q divided by distance of P from the point source whole square. So this is called inverse square law. So Q is at distance 3 meter, this is at distance 2 meter whole square. So that will be 9:4. So intensity ratios is 9:4, that is option C. So we shall move on to next one. A string of linear density 0.2 kg per meter is stretched with a force of 500 Newton. A transverse wave 4 meter is set up along it. So this is the wavelength. The speed of the wave is. So they have given wavelength, they have given linear density, they have given the stretching force of 500 Newton. So you need to find speed of the wave. So speed of the wave on a string is given by V is equal to root of T by mu, where mu is mass per unit length. So that is equal to root of T is 500 divided by 0.2. So that will give you root of 2500, that is nothing but 50 meter per second. So that is option A. Yes, we shall move on to next one. The linear density of a vibrating string of 10 power minus 4 kg per meter. A transverse wave is propagating on the string, which is described by equation y equals 0.02 sine x plus 30t, where x and y are in meters, time t is in seconds. Then tension in the string is. So you need to find tension in the string. So given equation of the wave is y is equal to 0.02 sine of x plus 30 t. So comparing it with standard equation, coefficient of t should be omega, coefficient of x should be k. So k is equal to 1 and omega is equal to 30. We know that velocity is omega by k for any wave, so that will be 30 by 1, that is equal to 30 meter per second. So we get the value of velocity. Now tension is given, velocity is known, you need to find tension in the string only. So v is equal to root of t by mu. So v square is equal to t by mu. T is equal to v square into mu. So substitute and simplify. T is equal to 30 square into mu is given, it is 10 to the power minus 4. So 30 square is 900 into 10 to the power minus 4. So that will be 0.09 Newton. That is option A. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A uniform wire of length 20 meter and weighing 5 kg hangs vertically. If g is equal to 10 meter per second, then speed of transverse waves in the middle of the wire is. So mass per unit length of the wire mu is equal to, it is given 5 kg and 20 meter, so it should be 1 by 4 kg per meter. So since it is not of negligible weight, since it is hanging vertically from a rigid support, at each part the tension will be different. So tension at the middle you have to calculate. So tension at the middle will be equal to, so total weight is 5 kg, so this should be half of it, so it should be 2.5 into g. So tension should be equal to 2.5 into g is 10, so that is 25 Newton. Mass is 2.5 kg, weight is 25 Newton. So v is equal to root of t by mu, just substitute and simplify. So that is 25 divided by 1 by 4, that is root 100, it is 10 meter per second. That is option E. So we shall move on to next one. If two waves of the same frequency and same amplitude respectively on superposing produce a resultant disturbance of the same amplitude, then the waves differ in phase by. So what they have given, two waves of same frequency, same amplitude are superposing and the resultant amplitude is same as the original amplitude. Then what is the phase difference between them? So when two waves superpose, the resultant amplitude A is given by root of A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1A2 cos phi. This will give you resultant amplitude. Phi is phase difference between the waves. Now what they have given, A1 and A2 and resultant all are equal. So square on both sides, a square is equal to a square plus 2a square cos phi. So this is what you will get. So if I send this 2a square to other side, it will become minus a square is equal to 2a square cos phi. So a square get cancelled. Send this 2 to the other side. You'll get cos phi is equal to minus half. So phi should be equal to 120 degree. That is nothing but 2 pi by 3. That is option B. So it is similar to vector addition. There we take the angle between the vectors. Here it is the phase difference. Yes, we shall move on to next one. Oxygen is 16 times heavier than hydrogen. Equal volumes of hydrogen and oxygen are mixed. The ratio of speed of sound in mixture to that in hydrogen is. So if I take the volume of 1 mole of gas as V, and if equal volumes are mixed, then mean density of the mixture, so I'll call it as rho mix, that should be equal to total mass divided by total volume. So if I take 1 mole of oxygen, it is 32 grams, 1 mole of hydrogen is 2 grams, divided by V plus V, that will be 2V. So that will give you 34 by 2V, that is nothing but 17 by V units. So this is density of mixture. Now if I take density of hydrogen alone, it should be 2 by 2V if you take it in the same container. So 2 by V, not 2V. Only one volume we are taking. So it is 2 by V units. Now we know that velocity of sound is given by root of gamma p by rho. So V is inversely proportional to root rho because they are at same pressure here. So velocity in mixture for sound divided by velocity in hydrogen, that should be equal to square root of rho of hydrogen divided by rho of mixture. So that should be square root of rho of hydrogen is 2 by V divided by 17 by V. That should be equal to root of 2 by 17. Is this option there? Yes, that is option B. Okay, we shall move on to next one. Velocity of sound in a gaseous medium is 330 meter per second. If the pressure is increased by 4 times without change in temperature, the velocity of sound in the gas is 330 meter per second, 440 meter, 660 meter per second, 156 meter per second, 990 meter per second. See, we know that velocity of sound according to Newton's Laplace formula in air is given by gamma p by rho under root. Now you are carrying out this process of making the pressure 4 times without changing in temperature. When temperature is not changed, if the pressure is made 4 times, density also becomes 4 times, so that the ratio P by rho remains constant. So as long as temperature is constant, so velocity of sound is independent of pressure. So since it is independent of pressure, it will remain at 330 meter per second. That is option A. Yes, moving on to next one. The velocity of sound in air, in which two sound waves of wavelength 0.5 meter and 0.504 meter produce 5 beats per second is. So there are two waves. They produce 5 beats per second. One is of 0.5 meter, the other is of 0.504 meter. So they produce 5 beats per second. Okay, so beat frequency is f1 minus f2. It's just a difference. So first wave have wavelength 0.5 meter, second one has wavelength 0.504 meter. So beat frequency is given 5. So larger the wavelength, smaller is the frequency. So first frequency should be greater. So let us say velocity is v by 0.5 minus v by 0.504. So v by lambda will give you f. So we know that v is equal to f lambda. So f is equal to v by lambda. That is what I have used here. So I can take v outside. So here we will be left with 0.5 into 0.504. The numerator it will be 0.004. So this is what you are going to get if you take LCM. Now cross multiply, send everything to other side. 5 into 0.5 into 0.504 divided by 0.004. So what do you get? Just let us calculate this. So 5 into 0.504 into 0.5 divided by 0.004. It will give you 315. This is the speed of sound in air. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A set of 28 tuning forks is arranged in series of decreasing frequencies. Each fork gives 3 beats with the succeeding one. First fork is the octave of the last. The frequency of 15th tuning fork is. So you need to find the frequency of 15th tuning fork. So what they have given is So there are so many tuning forks. So let us say the first one is 2f. So next one, it is placed in decreasing order, 2f minus 3. Next one is 2f minus 6 and so on. The last one is f. So now first one is the octave of last one. So how many tuning forks are kept here? It is 28 tuning forks. So totally 28 tuning forks are kept. Now you need to calculate frequency of 15th tuning fork. So now these tuning forks are kept in arithmetic progression with common difference -3. So 28th tuning fork has frequency f, first tuning fork has frequency 2f. We know that in arithmetic progression, nth term is given by Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. So 28th is f, a is 2f plus 28 minus 1 into -3. So this will give you f is equal to 2f minus 27 3s are 81. So you'll get f is equal to 81 hertz. So we get the frequency of the 28th tuning fork. So first tuning fork A should be equal to 2f, that is equal to 162 hertz. Now for 15th tuning fork, T15th should be equal to 162 plus 15 minus 1 into -3. This should be the case. So it should be 162 plus 14 into -3. That is 162 minus 42. 14 3s are 42. So it will be 120 hertz. So it's in a decreasing arithmetic progression. So the answer is option A. Yes, we shall move on to next one. A tuning fork A produces 4 bits with tuning fork B of frequency 256 Hz. When A is filed, beats are found to occur at shorter intervals. What was its original frequency of tuning fork A? Options are 260, 252, 256, 258. Now, let us represent the situation in a number line. So tuning fork B is known to us, that is 256 Hz. Now when A is sounded with this, you get 4 beats. That means A should be either 4 Hz greater than this, that is 260 Hz, or it should be less than this. In both the cases you will get 4 beats. So either this or this. Now when the prongs of A are filed, then the beats occur at shorter intervals. See, shorter intervals means FB, the beat frequency, has increased. So beat frequency has increased. Now let us check the situation. If on filing, if A is filed, if it is 260 Hz, let us say, then its frequency should be greater than 260. So it should go close to 256, so that the beat frequency should have decreased. So here it is increasing actually, so it is not the answer. Now, if we consider this situation, if the A is filed, then the frequency of this should be greater than 260. So in that case, the beat frequency would have been increased. So here it has increased. So frequency of A should be equal to 260 Hertz. So that is option E. So number line method is best method to find solution to such problems. Yes, we shall move on to next one. Two waves of length 50 centimeter and 51 centimeter produce 12 beats per second. Then velocity of sound is. So you need to find velocity of sound. It is similar to the other problem that we solved. So what is this beat frequency? Beat frequency should be frequency of first one minus frequency of second one. So V by lambda 1 minus V by lambda 2. This is beat frequency. What they have given, they produce 12 beats per second. One is 50 centimeter, other is 51 centimeter. So this is going to be 12. So 12 is equal to V by 0.5, express it in meters, minus V by 0.51. I have given it in centimeter, I have expressed it in meters. So that will give you, I can take V common, so 0.5 into 0.51, numerator will be 0.01. So V is equal to 12 into 0.5, here 12 is there, into 0.51 divided by 0.01. So that will give you, so 12 into 0.5 is 6. If this divided by this will become 51. So 51 into 6, that is 306 meter per second. That is the velocity, which is option C. As we shall move on to next one. We have problem on Doppler effect. A train moves towards stationary observer with a speed of 34 meter per second. The train sounds a whistle and its frequency registered by the observer is f1. If train speed is reduced to 17 meter per second, then the ratio f1 by f2 is. So here one information is missing. Velocity of sound is 340 meter per second. This information is missing. So train moves towards the stationary observer. That means observer is stationary. Source is moving at 34 meter per second. So registered frequency is f1. So let us say original frequency of the source is f. Now according to Doppler effect, f dash apparent frequency should be original frequency into V divided by V minus Vs, according to our sign convention, where Vs is velocity of source. Source is approaching the observer here, so velocity will be negative. So f1 is the frequency registered now, f into 340 divided by 340 minus 34. So that should be equal to 340 divided by 306 f. So that is nothing but 10 by 9 f divided by 34 on both sides. So you will get this. Then f2 is equal to f into 340 divided by 340 minus 17 it is, then it will be 340 divided by 323 f. So that will be 20 by 19 f. So you need to find f1 by f2, that is equal to 10 by 9 divided by 20 by 19. So ff get cancelled. So that will give you 19 by 18. That is option D. Yes, we shall move on to next one. Two trains moving with a speed of 108 km per hour cross each other. One of them blows a whistle of frequency 720 Hz. Speed of sound in air is 300 meter per second. The apparent frequency of the sound heard by passenger in the train after trains cross each other is. So in this case, trains are approaching each other. So passenger is also moving and the train is also moving. So source and the listener both are moving. So both are moving at 108 km per hour. So 108 km per hour means, see here, after crossing each other, the observer is going this way, source is going this way. So this is also 108, this is also 108. So source is going away from the observer. So velocity of observer is 108 km per hour. That will be equal to 30 meter per second. So velocity of source is also 30 meter per second. So both are moving here. Both are moving away from each other. So the apparent frequency of dash is equal to V minus VO observer divided by V plus Vs into F. So substitute V is 300. Okay, just change this to 330, not 300. This is 330 meter per second, where speed of sound in air. So this should be 330 minus 30 divided by 330 plus 30 into original frequency of the sound is 720 Hz. They have given this. So this will be 300 into 720 divided by 360. So 361s are 362s are, so it will become 600 Hz. This is the frequency heard by the listener. So that is option D. So that completes the MCQs on waves and oscillations. Thank you.